Welcome into another episode of the Summer of Soccer. I'm one of your hosts, Courtney Mims. Unfortunately, Kevin Kelly is not joining me today, but that's okay. We have a great jam-packed show for you guys who are joining us and want to talk everything FIFA World Cup. It just started yesterday here in the United States. We're the host country for it, and so there's a lot of excitement around soccer. That's why the show is called Summer of Soccer, right? It's super simple. You get what I'm saying there. Okay, we've got a lot to talk about. We also have a special guest joining us on the show today. Like we talked about on the first show yesterday, we do have some special guests joining us throughout the summer and throughout the run of the World Cup, and some of them you might recognize if you're a big fan of soccer here in Central Arkansas. I had an opportunity to sit down with quite a few different Little Rock Rangers players. And so they kind of join us throughout the summer here in studio. And one of the first ones that we get to talk to is Mathis Richter, who is a fabulous soccer player. He's actually going to UCLA in the fall. And if you don't know anything about soccer, let me just tell you, UCLA pretty good at men's soccer. So that is huge that he is heading over there to play this fall. We talk about that and the World Cup. He is from Germany. So if you want a perspective of a bit of an outsider, I guess, with this World Cup being in the United States, he gives a good perspective on it that I think every soccer fan can kind of agree with and also maybe disagree with in certain ways as well. He gives his predictions for Team USA. I won't go too much into it, but that's coming up a little bit later on in the show. What we are talking about today is obviously there's a massive matchup tonight. If you're like me, you're going to be watching Team USA in their first game in the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and they're taking on Paraguay tonight at 8 p.m. You can watch it on Fox 16, so that's a shameless plug. Go watch Fox 16 tonight and join us afterward. We'll have the breakdown for you in our show coming up after that game. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about this matchup with Paraguay. And yesterday, Kevin Kelly, who, by the way, wonderful, wonderful talent. Not only is a wonderful news anchor, but great when it comes to soccer knowledge. He played the sport for a very long time, was a goalie, and played it over in California. So he brings a lot of knowledge about the sport. And he said, look, I kind of felt very confident about Team USA going into this World Cup, especially with what they did in that friendly against Germany. I think that opened a lot of eyes to the fact that the USA shouldn't be overlooked when they played toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in the world in Germany. And so that's something that I think shouldn't be dismissed. They went toe-to-toe with them, sadly lost that game in PKs, but they still competed. They still did that. They had Germany on the wire. I think that's something that should be looked at. Paraguay is not somebody that we should be overlooking either. They've got some young guys on the team, but also some veteran leadership. So they've got a great ball club as well. I think they're going to give the U.S. a battle. And the thing about these group matches, in the group stage, right, it's all about scoring points. It's all about making sure you get points. And to be fair, you get points even if you draw. And all of these teams know that. They don't want to lose, but it's still okay if you draw because you're getting points, right? You obviously want to win. That gets you the most amount of points in 3. And then the top 2 teams from each group advance. And then 8 third best teams advance as well. So again, it's all about points. You have to be strategic about it. You're not going to go all the time on the attack. Sometimes it's going to be about defense and making sure, okay, can we limit their opportunities to score a goal on us? Can we limit the attack of these teams? Are we going to be playing a little bit more cautious since it's that first matchup? They could be. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here tonight. I do want to get to this interview with Mathis because he brings up a couple of really great points about Team USA, about Germany as well, and talks a little bit in depth about both those squads and why a team like the U.S. could make it to the semifinals of the World Cup. Let's get over to that interview right now because I don't want to delay. So here it is, me and Mathis Richter of the Little Rock Rangers talking all things World Cup. Hope you enjoy. Welcome back to the Summer of Soccer interview series. If you've been joining us on the show, thank you so much for joining us. But we have some amazing guests that join us to talk about soccer that know a lot more about the sport because they've been playing it on the professional level. And I have another one joining us today. He's also playing for the Little Rock Rangers this summer as a defender, Mathis Richter. And Mathis, you got to say your name for the mic. He's from Germany, y'all. Please say your name.
So the German pronunciation is Mathis Richter, but you did well. So
I appreciate it, but my American accent does not do it justice. I had to let the people know exactly how to say it. Mathis, let's start off by talking a little bit about you and your career in the sport of soccer because you used to play for UAB, but recently you just transferred to UCLA. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, you need to go into talking about why you decided to transfer and how excited you are to play for UCLA.
So first of all, I started to play in Germany on pretty high level for Werder Bremen. I don't know if you know the team. It's like a Bundesliga team. But then after I turned 19, 20 years old, I decided to make a step to go to the US because I just wanted to have a change. And to get the opportunity to combine soccer and the academic thing a bit more because way harder to combine it in Germany. So I decided to go here, and my first 2 years at UAB was amazing. So I found amazing friends, and we're not that successful as we hoped, but we did a really good job. And now after 2 years, I wanted to make another change because I just have 4 years of eligibility.
Yeah.
And then I entered the transfer pool on the 1st of May, and so I got the opportunity I got an offer from UCLA, and I decided to go there, and I hope it was the right decision.
I think it will be. I mean, you realize UCLA is pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, I got told, but I have not the experience as everyone else here. So obviously, I'm from Germany, and the whole thing, the college thing, is in Germany and the biggest. So it got told me that it's pretty big, but I have to experience it on my own.
I think that's so funny for me as an American who grew up, in the college scene, right? Mm-hmm. Supporting colleges and understanding what I'm saying to everybody who understands college athletics. They're going, oh my gosh, he's going to UCLA. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So we're just saying here on the show, that's a big deal. Growing up in Germany, obviously soccer is big.
Yeah,
when did you fall in love with the sport? Why did you fall in love with it? I mean, take me through that.
So I started to play pretty early, I think in the age of 3. So my parents were not really big in the sport, but I don't know, I just found the passion in the sport, and I started to play really early. I think I actually had a little break after I turned 5 or 6. I stopped playing after for a year, but I don't know. I found it back the way back, and I hated it without soccer, and so I kept playing. And after I turned, I think 12, 13 years old, that was my first step to a small academy, Osnabrück. And after playing 2 years for this academy, I made the step to the bigger club, Werder Bremen, who has a very big history in Germany. And since then, soccer is kind of my life, so I do everything for the sport.
Do you hope, you see the World Cup stage. Yeah. Is that the dream for you to be playing on a stage like that?
Obviously, it was always my dream, but to be realistic, it's kind of hard to play for a team like Germany because there are so many talents and everyone wants to get in the roster. And the first step would be first for me to get pro, and then I look a little bit more in a short way, if I can make a pro and then can get pro in Germany on a higher level and see how it goes later on.
So the club level you played at, for everybody who doesn't understand, where you played in Germany, explain how big of a team that was.
I think the last time they won actually the championship was in 2007.
Okay.
So they're like a really big history. So like names like Kevin De Bruyne or Diego or like Miroslav Klose, Mesut Özil, they all played for this club. Played
So only pretty
early on.
big.
Yeah, like there are some more names, but yeah. So there's a really big club, and I also enjoyed it to play there. But yeah, I didn't have like any future anymore, and then yeah, I made the step over here to the US.
Hey, well, that's cool too, because obviously that's a big step. What is the differences versus playing in Germany for that team versus playing in the United States?
Actually, when I came over here, I expected the level is way worse than it actually is.
Really?
Yeah, I thought like there's gonna be like just like an easy game. Because like how everyone is always saying like soccer is here in the US not the main sport.
Wait, well, it's not. It's not.
Yeah,
You're right.
But I mean I didn't know like so many internationals coming over here, and like even also South American, even the Americans, like there are many players on a really high level.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean after my first few weeks I experienced on my own that it is not how it is. And I actually had to log in, and yeah, and after the after the first month, yeah, it's definitely also like a different level, like physically, because like everyone here is so strong and like condition wise so good. So I actually had to work out like pretty much, because before I came here I was a little bit more skinny. So
you had to bulk up a little bit.
I actually had to bulk up to to compete with everyone else, and yeah, then now I'm here.
Now you're here, and now you bulked up, and you're ready. What was the moment? Do you have a certain moment in a game where you realized, oh, this is a little different than I thought it was going to be? Was there a moment for you like that?
I actually have a moment when we played against Charlotte in the conference. Because everyone there is like 6'4", and like everyone was just bigger than me, and I was used to it that I was one of the bigger players because I'm like 6'2", 6'3", and I was just an average player, and I was like, okay, now I have to change something, and that's what I did.
I like that you were like, oh, everyone is 6'4" and bigger than me, and this isn't something I'm used to.
Yeah, and especially like as a center back, you gotta be big because you have to compete with the strikers, and
you've literally got to be a defender.
Like, for example, as a like midfielder, like Drew before, like he doesn't need to be big. Like he's like more the techie guy, like who's on the ball, but yeah, I have to defend like all the big guys, so I had to compete a little bit more.
So you saw very quickly that you had to bulk up, and you had to be the size that you needed to be to do that, to play that position over here. Yeah. I think that's great. I think that's great for people. I love your honesty, by the way, but I do think that's great for people that said, oh, America's not that good. America's, but, oh, well, no, there's some programs over here that are very good at that, even that you don't think of it, that are soccer powerhouses that have some real talented athletes from all over.
I'm not gonna lie, I think like even still all my friends thinking in this way, like that here in the US, like all the players are not on a good level. But yeah. I think as soon they will get here, like they will see that the level is higher than they're expecting.
Hey, that's all right. Hey, if you come in with those expectations low and have America succeed those expectations, I like that. Do you think that will maybe play a factor in this year's World Cup? I mean, I know there are some people that are doubting the U.S., but do you feel like they have a little bit of a chance with the players that they have?
I mean, at the end, like every team has a chance, but like when you see, for example, the rosters of France or like, I mean, obviously I'm hoping Germany.
Yep,
like, the rosters are also pretty good. Like, I mean, there's always like a little chance, but like this is not really big, to be honest.
He said, there's the honesty for you. That's that German honesty we needed for anybody. Because I've said the same thing. I'm a very Team USA hater, and it's only because I'm a realist. And people are like, you need to root for Team USA. They can make it. They can do it. And I'm like, no. When you start to really look at these other teams and these rosters, and we haven't even talked about Germany yet. I want to get your thoughts on that team. But you just look and you go, ooh, Yeah, that's a different talent level.
But to be honest, like everyone loves like an underdog story.
They do.
So maybe at the end, like they will make it, but yeah, we will never know.
They do love an underdog story. I love an underdog story. I wouldn't say an underdog this year is Germany, though. I'm sure you're rooting for them, like you just said, in this World Cup. Why do you think they have a chance to win it all?
I mean, when you go through the whole roster, they have like world-class players, like who playing for Bayern Munich, for Arsenal, for all the big teams in Europe. I think at the end, it's not about the quality of the players, more like if they can play as a team and like hold together as a team, because I think that's at the end like the biggest impact in the tournament. Because when I remember like in 2014 when we won the World Cup, was also not like the best team in the World Cup. We had like good good players, but like they were like functioning as a team, and that is like how we ended up winning the World Cup. So, and I hope it's gonna happen again.
Well, I can't say I hope it's gonna happen again for you, because I'd like to see my rankings as well. When I talked to Drew just the other day, we did our rankings, and he said, "Oh, of course I'm rooting for Team USA, but then England." And so that might be my rankings too. I might root for Team USA and then England, maybe interchange them. So I'm not kind of rooting for Germany. So I'm sorry to say that, but I hope they win games for you. I hope they do.
They will.
They will, absolutely. They're going to be good this year as well. And I like that you said that. It's mentality. I think that's what people don't realize about the World Cup is they go, oh, look at all these players. Well, when you look at all the rosters, there's talented players up and down for a lot of different teams. We could go France, we could go Spain, we could go Germany, even the U.S., right? We'll throw them in there as well. England, all those teams, they're battle tested playing overseas in those leagues overseas. So people don't understand. It comes down to who's gelled at the right time, who's together, who can play as a team, because all of these guys, they're on different rosters throughout the year, and then they've come together, and now they're okay. We've got to play together, right? We might be playing against each other, but now we've got to play together as a team. And I think Germany did figure that out. And I wonder who that's going to be this year, because it also matters of who's coaching the team too, who's bringing them together, right? I mean, you can talk about that with the Little Rock Rangers. Having good management, having a good manager helps when it comes to how well your team plays, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, right now our coach, Francesco Brunetti, like he's, in my opinion, like an amazing coach. Like he brings us together, and the peanut gallery's laughing again. All right, hey, we gotta be serious, boys. As a coach, like he has like before every game, his tactics and the way how we should play to beat the other team. And I mean, so far it worked pretty out, and it worked out. We have like 7 points out of 3 games, and I hope the next 3 points gonna follow tomorrow.
Yep.
And then we will see if we're gonna end up like with the conference title at the end of the season.
I hope you guys do. I mean, so far so good, right? Why did you want to join this club? Why did you want to play for the Little Rock Rangers?
To be honest, I asked my coach at UAB because I made the decision to stay here in the US over the summer. Mm-hmm. I was considering to go home, like if I go home or if I stay here in the US. But after I went home last year for 3 months, I figured out it was a pretty long time. It's kind of boring to stay for 3 months back home and just to have like 3 or 4 weeks of vacation and 2 months just being home. Yeah. And then I made just a decision to get the experience of Summer League because I heard about it. And then I connected with a few teammates here from UAB, and we all went to Little Rock Rangers because we all got the offer to get to play here. And I think that was so far the best decision we made. And
well, it's nice to still be playing soccer, right? It's nice to. I mean, it's like basically you're not going to take any time off from conditioning. You're not going to take any. It's basically, hey, we've ended the college season and now we're going straight into summer, and then when this ends, you'll be at UCLA training, right?
Yeah, it is. This is also like really good for my like coming up season at UCLA.
Yeah.
That I stay in shape. That I will arrive there like in a good shape and like with a lot of ball work that I had like in the last couple of weeks. And yeah, that's also why I do this.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to have a good season at UCLA because that's going to help you whatever you decide to do professionally after that. So I agree with you completely, my friend. Why should people come out and watch the Little Rock Rangers?
I mean, a whole like my other team I already say like we will show you like or we will give you like a show like we are competing right now for the conference title. And so far, it's been always like really much fun to play, and all the fans who are showing up, like they always like are like on fire, and it's just fun to watch us, and we try to do our best and give you also like the best show we can do.
I love that. I love that. Why do you think this team can win a conference title? What about this team?
So in our team there's a lot of quality, like a lot of players from D1, D2, and players who played on a really high level, like either in Europe or like here in the US. And like if we can bring all our qualities together on the field, I think then we are definitely one of the best teams in the conference, and either maybe also like in the country, like on USL2 level. And maybe we can beat then every team. We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, it's soccer. It's interesting.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, exactly. Just like anything can happen in the World Cup. Look, I know I'm rooting for the Little Rock Rangers to win every single game this summer, even if I'm not rooting for Germany, okay? All right? Don't hate me, okay? I'll be rooting for the Rangers, okay? No, but I appreciate you, Mathis, for taking the time to join us on the show. We appreciate you. Go out and see Little Rock play this summer. If you like the World Cup, you're definitely going to like watching the Rangers. They have a lot of games that you can catch over at War Memorial Stadium. Again, Mathis, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see what happens in the World Cup. We'll see if your team can do it and win it all.
I hope so.
I know you do. I know you're rooting for them. We'll see what happens. Thank you again for joining us. Oh, there we go. There's my mic for you guys. Wasn't he great? He was great. You definitely go out and catch a Little Rock Rangers game. We're going to have more of his teammates here in studio talking about the World Cup. We do have a player on this upcoming Monday who has actually played with one of the guys on Team USA. That's pretty cool, right? You can catch that interview on Monday's show. Okay, we have a few minutes left, so let's round out with what's going on in the World Cup right now. As we're talking, Canada and Bosnia and Herzegovina. That is hard for me to say, but I did it. They have tied it up. It's 1-1 here in the second half of that game. So at the 67th minute or so in that game, again, 1-1 in that matchup here in the Group B stage of the World Cup. And then Mexico won yesterday. We kind of talked about that a little bit on the show because it was happening while we were live, but they beat South Africa 2-0. And then South Korea beat the Czech Republic 2-1 yesterday as well. So there you go. That's what happened in Group A, which would kind of line up with Kevin and I's predictions a little bit on those group stages. Group A is lining up to be, so far, what we said. We felt like Mexico and South Korea would lead the pack there, and that's what happened through yesterday's game. So we'll see what happens. Group B, that's Canada right now, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Boom, I got it. We got it. And then, obviously, the game that everybody here in the U.S. is watching tonight, and that's Team USA versus Paraguay. Very quickly, to round it out tonight, let's do some predictions. I honestly think the USA is going to win this one. I'm going to say 2-1 is what I'm going with. I think there will be some goals scored. So if you're looking at the over-under right now, I think the over-under on goals scored in this one is 2.5. So I think they'll go over. I think there'll be 3 total goals scored in this one, and the USA is going to take a 2-1 victory over Paraguay. I mean, listen, I said before, I'll say it again. The U.S. does look good. Paraguay is going to be a tough opponent tonight, but they're still inconsistent with their form. this Paraguay team. They're the young talent, is not maybe not gelling so much with the veterans on this team, and they're still just trying to find themselves a little bit. And that showed when they lost to Morocco 2-1. And so they have also, if you look at history, have struggled when it comes to tournament openers. In the last 8 attempts for Paraguay, they've done it just once. So that's going to be an uphill battle. They also have never beat a host nation in World Cup history. So good things for the U.S., right? That's all good for the U.S. When it comes to this matchup tonight. Again, the U.S. does have some concerns, and Mathis kind of talked about it there a little bit when he gave us a broader picture of the World Cup. And the reason why, when I've talked to players about this, why the U.S. concerns them slightly, defensive lapses. They are so attack. They've got talent. There's no doubt about it. Defensively, I worry about this team. Just when you go up against better teams, because the competition's just going to get tougher. If they get through the group stage, which I think they will, the competition's just going to get tougher. So can their defense hold? Don't know. That still remains to be seen. I'm actually very interested to see what happens. Also, I failed to mention this before, but I will say this, that the U.S. did defeat Paraguay 2-1 back in a friendly in November. So that wasn't that long. That wasn't that long ago. I'd say, it's last year, but still, they did beat them 2-1. So that might be why I'm thinking they'll win 2-1 tonight. I just think they can score goals on them. And I think being the host country, being in front of so many of their fans, this is the highest priced tickets right now for the World Cup, besides the finals. Obviously, throw out the finals. That's going to be one of the highest priced tickets, of course. But this is the highest price ticket, I think, in the group stage. Yesterday, when we looked at the ticket prices, that's what it was, that it was the highest price ticket. So for me, I'm going to be honest, when you're in front of your home crowd, there is such thing as home advantage. There is. You're playing on your soil. There's going to be fans there tonight. So I think that that's going to help the U.S. as well in this one. We'll see what happens. We're going to have the full coverage, like I said, over on Fox 16 after the match. If you want to watch the match, you can watch all those matches on Fox. But over on Fox 16, after the game, we will have a breakdown of what happened. We'll take you live out to Dugan's Pub as well. Our own Paige Riley is over there tonight and is super excited to see the atmosphere and how many Little Rock fans show up and show out for the World Cup, because I've had so many people tell me they didn't know what was happening this week. So y'all need to step up, okay? Step up, Little Rock. We need to see you out there and supporting Team USA. And as always, we are here every day, myself and Kevin Kelly. He will be back next week, and we will be here live every day right on the KARK Fox 16 Plus app, 3:30 to 4. Come join us. Everything World Cup. We got some more guests coming up for you next week as well. That's going to do it for this episode of Summer of Soccer. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.